You were here because you have a question that you need an answer to. Thanks for joining me.
Modern free masonry as we see it.
Negative shit to say about Trump, and then you get caught.
What happened for the next couple of centuries?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Like the cool gay man, people also want
to see it.
Hello, everybody. This is the Political Matrix. I am your host, Young Morpheus. I took a little bit of time to, I guess, get in the link to the rest of the team, so they'll be hopping in shortly. Until then, I will give you guys the topics that we're going to talk about. Excuse me. Of course, you all see the hold on one sec. Let me find it because I have a short memory and I can't remember exactly all the list of titles. I wanted to talk about Joe Biden, of course. I see Tina is out there. Hello, Tina. Hopefully everything is going well. Hopefully the little guy's doing better. I see DJ Elf in here. Let's read. He says, okay, cool. Shadow banner oppress OG. Want to make my life hard. I don't get how anybody's making your life harder. I don't know what that's about. I don't get what he's saying in there. I guess I'll let you guys hash that out between the two of you guys. Yes, and for anybody else who's coming in to the room, thank you. I'll give it a minute until the rest of the team comes on, but we're going to talk about Joe Rogan a little bit. We're going to show some clips on that. I definitely wanted to get into my thoughts on that, especially, and I see Variant is in the room. Recently, we've had, the stuff which just went on with Biden and Ukraine. I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about what's happening between Russia and China also. So we definitely have a handful of things to get to. We're going to get into what is Dan Price, Ned Price? I get his name mixed up, but Biden's Representative Price in his press conference, which is really interesting. I figure in the meantime, while I get the guys in here, guys and gal, I will find that. I'll try to get his press conference really quickly because it was very interesting hearing some of the pushback that went on with that. So let me pull that up shortly. And for everybody else who's coming into the room, welcome. Don't be afraid to say hello. Let us know that you're all there. What's his name? Ned Price, an AP reporter. Is that what it was? Let's see, heated exchange between, yeah, that's the one we want. I'll let Emmanuel tell me which one. You know what? That's who I'll go with, C-SPAN, because I highly doubt that they'll give us too much of a headache playing their clip. And let me go on ahead, get my screen shared and get it ready for when the crew hops in. We have L joining us. How are we doing this evening, L?
What up?
Hey. And there we go. We got Mr. Cy Lawson. How are we doing, Chris?
What's up, man?
Let me try some of these other formats.
What's up, everybody in the audience?
I like that better. I like that one better, right? I was thinking, hey, you know what? Something off topic. But since it's on my mind, I figure I'll ask you right now, Chris. It's a soda which I need, which I'm gonna have to get from you. I'll just pay you and send it to me, but I can't get it out here. I'm feeling for it. I don't know. Do you know about Cola Champagne?
Hold on, Marcus. The sound on my end is bad. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Is it me? Sound check, sound check. My bad was picking. Ooh, well, that's not a bad that's not a bad avatar there. Very interesting. Bayer, aspirin, and heroin. Very interesting. Shadow, can you tell me what Ed is talking about in the chat? Because I do not know. Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, so L, how I know you said hey, but how are you doing this week? Anything interesting happen?
Still unemployed. Got notice that I'm gonna get a whopping $126 per week. Really gonna roll in those hundreds from unemployment.
Well,
California
I mean,
really cares.
yeah, they do really care. I mean, I felt like, you know what, if California wants to be cutting edge on something, you know what they can do? It'd be cutting edge on the what is it, on jury trials, or not juries, just jury duty in general. Why don't they decide to pay an actual higher amount, you know, and encourage people to want to do jury duty? That way, a lot of homeless people, that would be a way that they could make some money, you know, and not have to be confined to some of the, you know, systemic things that are going on with them. That gives them a job also. So something I was thinking of. Maybe, oh, go on ahead.
Did you hear that the mayor, Eric Garcetti, our lovely mayor, who
Mhm.
didn't take a breath while taking a picture, so he could not wear a mask, that he has deigned to give us a whopping $16.04 an hour instead of the $15, which is hilarious because he's going to start it in July 1st. So if he could have made it like $15, $16, whatever the fuck, in 2015, why didn't that happen? Because that's what happened before, is that they like stretched it out for years and years until like 2020. So if another, you know, peek at the, you know, the bullshit that they're peddling, where they say we really care and we're gonna do something about something in 5 years, and then 5 years later they're like, oh wait, let me give you, you know, because I don't want people to talk about this mask thing anymore. Go ahead, take another dollar. Here's another dollar for your time.
Like, I mean, I don't know with this stuff. I mean, when I first got here, they were talking about how everything was going to go to $15 an hour. It finally did tick up to the 15, I believe. And what's happened with it is now, you know, with the inflation, it hasn't really mattered. Welcome, E, to the show. How are we doing, brother E? Sorry, for all those in the audience, the reason why everybody's coming in one at a time is because I forgot to send out the link. That is my fault. So hope you guys can forgive me. Don't beat me with Rotten Tomatoes or anything. How are we doing, E?
You're good, man. I knew you were eating, so no, nothing against you or anything like that. I'm good. Just it's been a rough week.
Well,
So.
technically, I was nibbling because I didn't even like get all the way to my food. But
What did you eat anyway? Not to distract from what you were talking about.
Some burger and fries and some
Ah.
onion rings. Well, I've only ate the fries and like one onion ring, so
Gotcha.
I have a nice soggy burger after the show, but it'll still be welcomed and enjoyed. Let's see. And Matt Marxist says Bona Nit X. I don't even know how to say that. I don't even know what that means. Can you please explain to us what that means? Here, I'll put that on the screen.
I think it means good night, right?
I know Bona is normally good. I'm not
Right.
sure which language that might be. Is that Tagalog, maybe? Not sure. But hopefully he can explain and enlighten us. Thomas says Ed has a lot of fighting energy. It's just misplaced sometimes, LOL. He's cool with me, though, most of the time. Yeah, I told Ed, I said, if you decide, if you want to come on and do a formal apology to a lot of people who you've offended and said some horrible things, then maybe we can get past it. I know some of them are not as forgiving as I am, but I look at him as Ed is the type of person where if he doesn't, he's like that kid who, if you don't give him the attention, he goes all the way overkill, trying to say or do anything he can to get attention. So he says a lot of shit that I know he doesn't mean, and that he would never do. That's very, 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 very far over the line. And everybody's not as forgiving. So some people will ignore his comments and let it go. Some people are like, no, you cross the line and that's just what it is. And so until he learns to kind of work that out, he's going to continue to have problems dealing with a lot of people. And as far as being censored, you're not censored from our angle in any kind of way. It's just we don't talk about what you talk about for the most part. I mean, I don't even know what you got going on in New York. None of us live in New York. We're not fighting the battles you're fighting, so we don't get it. That's all we're saying. I don't know, unless anybody else wants to add a word to that before we get into our topics. I don't know, because I don't want to necessarily speak for everybody here on the crew, even though sometimes I unconsciously try to. Go ahead, though.
Oh no, Mad Marxist said it was Catalan, the Catalan language.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, that sounds a little Spanish.
Well, I mean, I spent some time when I was stationed in Rota, and so I did run across it occasionally. And glad to have Mad Marxists in the building. I figured we would go on with Ed's. Not Ed's. Oh, we'll see. Mr. Street is in the building. We'll figure we'll go on with E's topic first. The back and forth. For those who don't remember it, let's bring it up and give them a visual reminder of what is his name? Price. Is it Ned Price? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Ned Price.
Ned Price. Thanks, Elle.
XCIA Ned Price.
See, I knew Elle would know. So here is the clip. Let's bring it up. Let's switch this to there, down to the bottom, and let's get into it. Oh, over here. I need to close some of these blocks.
We have previously noted our strong concerns regarding Russian disinformation and the likelihood that Moscow might seek to create a false flag operation to initiate military activity. Now, we can say that the United States has information that Russia is planning to stage fabricated attacks by Ukrainian military or intelligence forces as a pretext for a further invasion of Ukraine. One possible option the Russians are considering, and which we made public today, involves the production.
Oh, I wanted to say, guys, if you guys and young lady, if you guys want me to stop it at any point for you to interject, just let me know and I'll stop it gladly for you guys to give your thoughts.
Got it.
Of a propaganda video, a video with graphic scenes of false explosions depicting corpses, crisis actors pretending to be mourners, and images of destroyed locations or military equipment, entirely fabricated by Russian intelligence. To be clear, the production of this propaganda video is one of a number of options that the Russian government is developing as a fake pretext to initiate and potentially justify military aggression against Ukraine. We don't know if Russia will necessarily use this or another option in the coming days. We are publicizing it now, however, in order to lay bare the extent of Russia's destabilizing actions towards Ukraine and to dissuade Russia from continuing this dangerous campaign and ultimately launching a military attack. Russia has signaled it's willing to continue diplomatic talks as a means to de-escalate, but actions such as these suggest otherwise. We will continue to diligently work together with our allies and partners to expose Russian disinformation and other hybrid tactics used against Ukraine. We continue to work to prevent any effort Moscow might make to justify further military action in Ukraine. We again urge Russia to stop its destructive and destabilizing disinformation campaign, to de-escalate tensions, and to engage in diplomacy and dialogue for a peaceful solution. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, well, that's quite a mouthful there. So you said actions such as these suggest otherwise, suggest meaning that they suggest they're not interested in talks and they're going to go ahead with some kind of what action are you talking about?
One, the actions I've just pointed to. The fact that Russia continues to engage in disinformation campaigns.
You made an allegation that they might do that. Have they actually done it?
What we know, Matt, is what I've just said, that they have engaged in this activity, in this planning activity. But let me because obviously this is not the first time we've made these reports public. You'll remember that just a few weeks ago.
I'm sorry, made what report public?
If you let me finish, I will tell you what report we made public. We told you a few weeks ago that we have information indicating Russia also has already prepositioned a group of operatives to conduct a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine. So that, Matt, to your question.
I wanted to stop it there real quick because he said that's been declassified to make it public. Where did you make this information public and how did you make this information public? You coming up and talking at the podium is not making the information public. That's just you talking. That's not you making it public. Making it public is showing it to everybody so we can see this evidence that you're talking about. So, yes, this is comical. I wanted to share this real quick before it got too far up in the and I lost it. Breaking: POTUS has replaced Whoopi Goldberg with Rachel Dolezal as his SCOTUS pick. I'm sorry, that was a good one, so I had to share that. But yeah, let me mute and get back to it. Oh, and we're all doing good. Well, I'm doing good over here. We're doing good for the most part, and thank you for joining us as usual, our buddy Atris.
Is an action that Russia has already taken.
It's an action that you say that they have taken, but you have shown no evidence to confirm that. And I'm going to get to the next question here, which is, what is the evidence that they? I mean, this is like crisis actors, really. This is like Alex Jones territory you're getting into now. What evidence do you have to support the idea that there is some propaganda film in the making?
Matt, this is derived from information known to the U.S. government, intelligence information that we have declassified. I think you know.
Okay, well, where is it? Where is this information?
It is intelligence information that we have declassified.
Well, where is it? Where's the declassified information?
I just delivered it.
No, you made a series of allegations and statements.
Would you like us to print out the topper? Because you will see a transcript of this briefing that you can print out for yourself.
That's not evidence, Ned. That's you saying it. That's not evidence. I'm sorry.
What would you like, Matt?
I would like to see some proof that you you can show that
Matt, you have
shows that the Russians are doing this. Ned, I've been doing this for a long time.
I know, that was my point. You have been doing this for quite a while. You know that when we declassify intelligence information, we do so in a means we do so with an eye to protecting sources and methods.
Is not going to fall. I remember a lot of things. So where is the declassified information other than you coming out here and saying?
Matt, I'm sorry you don't like the format, but we have declassified.
It's not the format; it's the content.
I'm sorry you don't like the content. I'm sorry you are doubting the information that is in the possession of the U.S. government. No, what I'm telling you is that this is information that's available to us. We are making it available to you in order for a couple reasons. One is to attempt to deter the Russians from going ahead with this activity. Two, in the event we're not able to do that, in the event the Russians do go ahead with this, to make it clear as day, to lay bare the fact that this has always been an attempt on the part of the Russian Federation to fabricate a pretext.
Yeah, but you don't have any evidence to back it up other than what you're saying. It's like you're saying, we think we have information the Russians may do this, but you won't tell us what the information is. And then when you're asked,
that is the idea behind deterrence, Matt. That is the idea behind deterrence.
And when
it is our hope that the Russians don't go forward with this.
You say, "I just gave it to you," but that's not what
you seem not to understand. You seem not to understand the idea of deterrence. We are trying to deter the Russians from moving forward with this type of activity. That is why we're making it public today. If the Russians don't go forward with this, that is not ipso facto an indication that they never had plans to do so.
But then it's unprovable. I mean, my God, what is the evidence that you have that suggests that the Russians are even planning this?
Matt,
I'm not saying that they're not, but you just come out and say this and expect us just to believe it without you showing a shred of evidence that it's actually true. Other than when I ask, or when anyone else asks, what's the information? You said, well, I just gave it to you, which was just you making a statement.
Matt, you said yourself, you've been in this business for quite a long time. You know that when we make information, intelligence information public, we do so in a way that protects sensitive sources and methods. You also know that we declassify information only when we're confident in that information. If you doubt the credibility of the U.S. government, of the British government, of other governments, and want to find solace in information that the Russians are putting out, that is for you to do.
I'm not asking what the Russian government is putting out, and what is it supposed to be?
U.S. officials are describing very specific scenes, but do they actually have a video?
The fact that we are able to go into such great detail, obviously, I'm not going to spell out what is in our possession, but I will leave it to you. I will leave that to your judgment.
There are no facts that you've spelled out.
Do you have evidence this was intended to come out in the coming days?
We've said then for some time now that the Russians have positioned forces. They have undertaken preparations that if Putin decides to move forward with an invasion, they're positioned to do so. They are poised to do so
in the coming days.
One last thing. Like, I'm not buying into Russian propaganda, but I'm also not going to buy into an accusation. Yes, you are. You're saying the proof is that I just said it. So let me just appeal to you on behalf of all of us, and the American people, and the people of the world, and the Russian people, and the Ukrainian people. One piece of evidence to suggest that the Russians are planning to use crisis actors to stage a false mass casualty event to use as a pretext. Just one piece, okay? And not you or Kirby or Jen or John Feiner or Jake saying this is what is so. And then you turning around and saying, well, because we said it, it's a fact.
So let me
piece of verifiable evidence.
Let me make a couple broad points. And I acknowledge this will probably be unsatisfactory to you in the moment. But here's what I think you know, what I certainly know, what everyone here knows. There are 100,000 Russian troops encircling Ukraine right now, approaching Ukraine's borders, close to the borders. There are thousands of Russian troops with the potential for some 30,000 Russian troops to stream in to Belarus. All of these forces are positioned, could well be positioned if Putin makes that decision to engage on Ukraine in a coordinated assault. We also know that the Russians have resorted to these tactics in the past, have developed a remarkably similar playbook in 2014, amassed troops, engaged in 2014. It is a historical fact, engaged in disinformation and propaganda to paint Ukraine as the aggressor, fabricated a pretext for an invasion, and went in. So with what we know from 8 years ago, with what we have seen, you and I both have seen, everyone has seen, with what we have heard 8 years ago, in the ensuing 8 years, and in recent weeks, it seems to me that it should not be outlandish that the Russians may be engaging in this
okay, fine,
activity
but not
again.
being outlandish doesn't mean that you have any proof that it's happening
The second point,
or being
the second
planned.
point, the
Hold
second
on,
point,
Ned, you can't just, all of that may very well be true, probably is true, okay? But it doesn't provide any evidence of what you're alleging now, which is that they're planning this fake mass casualty event with quote unquote crisis actors, which is something that, you know, in the US, we rarely hear outside of the kind of, you know, nutty conspiracy theory crowd.
well, to be clear, we're not alleging what the United States is doing. This is information available to us.
No,
what the
but
Russians
that's-
are up to. I understand your point, but I just
You,
want to.
you do, because I mean, you're treading into some serious waters here, and if you can't provide any evidence other than, well, I said so, and so it's a fact, that's a problem.
Matt, there's a second point. This is derived from intelligence in which we have confidence. In which we have confidence.
The
Otherwise,
same confidence you had in
otherwise,
WMD and
otherwise,
Iraq? I mean, what-
otherwise, we would not be making it public in the way we are. But here's the other point. Intelligence and evidence; these are two separate things. It is
Yeah,
no.
but you're saying it's a fact, and that you have proof, and then you can't offer any proof, and to show that it's fact. I'll drop it. But I think we should move on.
Yeah.
Marcus. Oh, I thought
there you go. Yeah, I couldn't figure out what I need to click and getting all messed up with my tech skills.
Okay.
Oh, that's why. I need to make it smaller. That's why. I say, oh goodness. Now everybody's gonna know what music and stuff I listen to.
I ain't hear any of that.
No, half of it is like 3 out of, let's see, what is it like? I can't count, 12 things here, and half of them are my music I'm listening to. A couple of them are press briefings. And then there's a cute little video about a cow licking a pig. So I like animals.
All right.
I see, oh wow, Baby Yaga Prepper. What a name. Says
okay.
Baba Yaga.
Right.
Hi everyone. Looking forward to my Saturday nights with you. We're so glad to have you here.
No, what were your takes on the video that you just?
I want to hear yours first, because
what do you mean?
You reminded me of it, and I was like, that's right. Good call. You good catch. But I can, if you want to hear mine, I can give you mine.
Okay,
first.
Wait. The fact that this ex-CIA person can sit up in front of us and bring forth an accusation or an allegation as proof and is documented fact just kind of really sticks in my really kind of pisses me off. I mean, it's not the first time we've seen an elected official get up on stage and say, well, this happened. And when asked for evidence, say, I just told you, right? And numerous journalists have sat in the room and have done no pushback, not really anything. And when America does it, it's being deterrent. But when they do it, it's they're providing justice and democracy. So I appreciate what the AP reporter did. I'm grateful for it, but he is the exception. He is not the norm. True. America does not run on truth. America runs off of lies and obfuscation and deception, right? They run off of those allegations. If I made an allegation and I slept with a porn star and somebody asked me for proof of it, and I said, well, I just told you I did, that's not going to be enough for anybody, right? They would want video. They would want cooperation with the porn star that I slept with, right? So I don't give Matt credit for that. I mean, I'm glad he did it, but I don't see like every single reporter getting up in like a powerful or an elected official's face and say, you're lying. That's not right. Where's the evidence? I just don't see that happening. So that's why I brought it up. I was just
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of something which is not seen very often, especially these days. It's been a while since we've seen, reporters really pushing back. I would say going back to when Trump was president, that was the last time we've seen any kind of pushback in any kind of direction. And granted, most of that was partisan. It was fully out of partisanship, because those very same reporters are not going to do the same thing to a Democratic president. But yeah, this was different. And I guess I'll go into it after. Chris, what do you think of what he had to say there?
I mean, to me, it was just like well, first of all, what's up, everybody in the audience? L.E. Marcus, what's up, everybody? But he just sounded like standard issue State Department, right? Or Defense Department or any other government agency. He went out there with his talking points. He thought he was going to be able just to skate through it and nobody was going to question him on it. Unfortunately for him, in this particular case, that reporter was there to make things a little more difficult for him. In the grand scheme of things, does this really matter? No, but at least there's somebody in these briefings to ask these questions, to get them to expose themselves, essentially, because that's what happened, right? The reporter, just by asking a few basic questions like, yo, just show it to me, dog. Like, you say you got the gun, let me see it. Like, why don't you just show it to me? If it shouldn't be that difficult, right? You should want to not leave room for any skepticism, right? And you should also want to shut up the skeptics. So just provide the intel. Don't just say like, yo, don't go outside because I told you. No, it don't work like that. You have to show us something.
I mean, I agree. Shoot. I guess all I can add to that is, yeah, he did just ask him a couple of simple questions, and those simple questions tripped him up that much. L, would you like to give your take on it, and then I'll weigh in afterwards?
I was tweeting, sorry. Relevance. But
speaking of that, I need to tweet out the show. I need to tweet out the show myself.
I tweeted out the show. But anyway, yeah, like this, it's important to remember that this was the day after a supposed war crime, probably most likely a war crime, had occurred in Syria, and was the result. What they say happened is that a man who was a terrorist, who was the leader of ISIS, because that's not over yet, we had to bring it back, that he had blown himself up with an exploding vest and just killed all his kids because he didn't give a fuck, and killed a bunch of other kids too, and other people. And what was interesting about that story is that the first responders were the Syrian White Helmets, which, if you know about the Syrian civil defense and the White Helmets, you know that there was a lot of funding from the West for their operations until 2018, when they froze the funding under Trump. But then I think they ended up getting more funding again, but it's just kind of not easy to find that information and get the funding information for that specific time. But it's interesting to see that they are going kind of against the grain and against this administration. And I had I put a clip into the chat for the show from CNN of all places, which was crazy. And it was not the nicest video that CNN has ever done about an administration. So,
okay, yeah, I'll put that up. But I was wondering, I mean, I guess we kind of jumped to that.
So this was kind of a distraction from that, I believe, looking at it to try and get people to look over here while this bullshit is going on. at the same time, a couple of days, I think maybe it was yesterday, I have to check, but they had a report. They had like a whole press briefing. I didn't get to watch all of it, but it was about the war crime that happened in Afghanistan and what was happening in Afghanistan on the ground at that time and how complicated it was. And they were showing videos and like not videos, they were showing like maps and stuff. Like it was the Defense Department, and they talked about DTRA and their involvement as well. And I was like, oh yeah, DTRA was in Afghanistan. Good to know. But yeah, if you want to check that out, like Yahoo Finance is where I go. I'm not even like promoting them. I'm just saying that's where I go for these long videos because they have the chat function, as I said in the chat. So you can actually see what people think and they don't shut it down usually. They did shut it down one time. I was like, why did they get rid of the chat and the comments in this one? That's weird. But they usually don't do that. But other networks will just like Washington Post or whoever the fuck will not have a chat at all. And then they'll have like comments every once in a while, like NBC affiliates and stuff have comments. ABC has comments. But chat is very hard to find nowadays because you can't moderate it too much on their end. So they don't want to see the pushback to all these initiatives and stuff in these briefings.
Interesting you brought up the metaverse in the chat. I have something to say about that. So when we get a chance.
Yeah, I felt like I was going off topic for a second. I was like, oh, should I bring it back to the metaverse somehow? Circle back to that?
Well, I mean, I thought it was interesting. I guess, well, the topics kind of segue. So I see you tied it back to it, but I was trying to, but it all worked out in the end because I was like, well, okay. But yeah, I see what you were saying now. How they were using this is more distraction for what happened in Syria, which we're going to talk about that next, and get a little deeper into it. Yes, we will talk about that. Yeah, I guess we could definitely bring that up because I was just watching that and the whole metaverse topic. But my take on it was that you could see very clearly in his face, and somebody said it up there. I believe Mr. Street said it. Make sure to give credit where it's due. There we go. It says, if you really pay attention to his face, basically, he says, we don't have intel, but they've done this before, so they say. And my thing is, it's just like everybody here has said, it's a little surprising to see the pushback at all from what he said, Chris, said, it's good to see somebody at least doing it. But then L adds the very strong possibility that it was brought up to distract from the whole situation in Syria right now, which we'll talk about that right after this. But my 2 cents that I would add to it is these are the same people who have basically destroyed their credibility time after time after time, especially on foreign policy. And so it's almost mind-boggling to me that you think that you could just walk up to the podium and just say, yeah, this is the evidence we have, and not have to show anything. I mean, if you're saying that they're crisis actors, well, show who the crisis actors are, show the funding ties, show them acting in other things. If you can show somebody repeatedly being at all these different crises, then prove it. That shouldn't be something that is so hard to, like they make it like, well, if we tell you this is going to give away our secrets on how we get the information. No, it's not. It's just a different situation than another situation that you might have later on. So that argument doesn't really stand up. Just show the damn evidence if you have it. But more than likely you don't have evidence. That's the reason why you're not showing anything. On to the
is this one of Marcus, real quick? Is this one of Donald Rumsfeld's known unknowns?
That's what it sounded like.
Okay.
I mean, he wasn't clear on it, and he felt like, well, I can just say this and it just slip by. And he got caught. You know, I mean, and like I said before, what's mind-boggling to me is with all the stuff that we've had go on, your credibility is so horrible that how in the world do you think you can just get away with just saying, hey, this is what happened, just take my word for it. Oh, we can't show you. And I want to say special hello to our friends out there who dropped in. Got War Deer Entertainment. Big shout out to you. And Mona. So glad to see Mona in the chat.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, Actress, I'm not saying dox the crisis actors. I'm not saying you got to give out these people's home address or phone number. But for instance, if it was a so-called crisis actor here in America and let's see, they were the one who was on the Geico commercial, just show the damn Geico commercial and prove, okay, here they are acting in some other thing. And here they are now on this crisis. And here they are at this other situation. Like, for instance, I won't say who the person was, but there was a individual who popped up on multiple different scenes over and over and over, a teenager who all of a sudden he got a big platform. And I'm like, hello, this is kind of interesting.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. And yes, Mona, it is all good. I mean, I didn't do it this Friday. I was super tired. I had to go into work super early and pretty much pull like a 12, 13 hours. So, but I will be working on it for next Friday, and I'll make sure to send you that link. And I guess we'll move on to that next topic. Elle kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, but Biden ordered strikes in Syria. Elle, would you like to explain out the whole parameters of all that happened?
I can't explain everything because we don't have time to go over all the logistics.
But
I'll just say, I'll summarize.
Synopsis.
Yeah. So he was saying how I got the clip of him talking too, which is literally less than 5 minutes. That's how much time they gave to this.
Put it in the private, and I'll bring it up if you want.
Not even just that, but took no questions. And it's going to be 57 minutes, but that's mostly waiting. So I have it at 50:28 is where it starts.
50:28, okay.
So I'll send that to you. I'll put it there right there. 50:28. So you don't miss it. But yeah, they just spent less than 5 minutes on this subject, which is way more important and actually has people dead than the topic of false flag events, which you can't prove the next day. I mean, the same day. Technically, this is the same day that he was talking about this. So they were trying to push that out of the way in the very beginning of the day. And then they brought in Ned for the next part. But basically, he says, in the thing, and you can hear him say it, but he's speaking from a script as usual, and says that they could have drone striked the guy, but they would have had more casualties. So they were trying to minimize casualties, is what he was saying, civilian casualties.
And did you say that was 50?
Swimmingly.
50:28?
Yes.
Okay. Let me back it up a little bit. That'll do there. And let's go.
Last night, operating on my orders, the United States military forces successfully removed a major terrorist threat to the world, the global leader of ISIS, known as Haji Abdullah. He took over as leader of ISIS in 2019 after the United States counterterrorism operation killed al-Baghdadi. Since then, ISIS has directed terrorist operations targeting Americans, our allies and our partners, and countless civilians in the Middle East, Africa, and in South Asia. Haji Abdullah oversaw the spread of ISIS-affiliated terrorist groups around the world after savaging communities and murdering innocents. He was responsible for the recent brutal attack on a prison in northeast Syria holding ISIS fighters, which was swiftly addressed by our brave partners in the Syrian Democratic Forces. He was the driving force behind the genocide of the Yazidi people in northwestern Iraq.
I'm sorry, I just got to say this real quick, maybe a little off topic, but can they get him a bigger teleprompter or change the font for this man? Because, I mean, goodness, everything in his face is scrunched up for him trying to see it. I mean, it reminds me of
He
one of
needs
those old,
glasses.
well, just old man, wear your fucking glasses. I mean,
Unbelievable. Like, just fucking do it.
why is it that hard? I'm what, a quarter of this man's age. And he's walking around looking like this. I wear glasses. What's the fucking problem? Just put your damn glasses on. I'd rather that than all this squinting shit. Sorry.
In 2014. We all remember the gut-wrenching stories, mass slaughters that wiped out entire villages, thousands of women and young girls sold into slavery, rape used as a weapon of war. And thanks to the bravery of our troops, this horrible terrorist leader is no more. Our forces carried out the operation with their signature preparation and precision, and I directed the Department of Defense to take every precaution possible to minimize civilian casualties. Knowing that this terrorist had chosen to surround himself with families, including children, we made a choice to pursue a special forces raid at a much greater risk than to our own people, rather than targeting him with an airstrike. We made this choice to minimize civilian casualties. Our team is still compiling the report, but we do know that as our troops approach to capture the terrorist, in a final act of desperate cowardness, he, with no regard to the lives of his own family or others in the building, he chose to blow himself up, not just to the vest, but to blow up that third floor, rather than face justice for the crimes he has committed, taking several members of his family with him, just as his predecessor did. I'm grateful for the immense courage and skill and determination of our U.S. forces, who skillfully executed this incredibly challenging mission. The members of our military are the solid steel backbone of this nation, ready to fly into danger at a moment's notice to keep our country and the American people safe, as well as our allies. And I'm also grateful to the families of our service members. You served right alongside these soldiers and sailors, Marines, Special Forces, the loved ones, giving them the strength and support they need to do what they do. To our service members and their families, we're forever grateful for what you do for us, and we owe you a debt. Thank you. We're also aided by the essential partnership of the Syrian Democratic Forces. I want to commend our dedicated intelligence community, the Department of Defense, and members of our national security team throughout the government, whose meticulous and tireless work over the course of many months ensured that this mission succeeded. This operation is testament to America's reach and capability to take out terrorist threats no matter where they try to hide anywhere in the world. I'm determined to protect the American people from terrorist threats, and I'll take decisive action to protect this country. And we'll continue working with our close allies and partners, the Syrian Democratic Forces, the Iraqi security forces, including the Kurdish Peshmerga, and more than 80 members of the global coalition to keep pressure on ISIS to protect our homeland. We remain vigilant. We remain prepared. Last night's operation took a major terrorist leader off the battlefield, and it sent a strong message to terrorists around the world. We will come after you and find you. Once again, today, we continue our unceasing effort to keep the American people safe and to strengthen the security of our allies and partners around the world. I want to thank you all, and may God bless you, and may God protect our troops. I'm heading off to New York right now. I'm late, and
yeah, okay, whatever, dipshit.
Just decided not to take any questions. It looked like, right?
Of course not. And hey, Glory out there.
What's up, Glory?
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here. Yes, Glory. That's exactly what he needs. Says Biden needs the same teleprompter Marcus has. Yes, my teleprompter is excellent.
I'm not even surprised at this point. I mean, that's exactly why Price was able to pull it, because we expect that. That's their MO. I mean, that's their MO so bad that it hurts, right? Mm-hmm. So I can stand by Elle's assertion that they were distracting you with one thing while getting away with something else. And that's why I wanted to turn it back to the metaverse. Remember the whistleblower that was going to come in and call out Meta or Facebook or whatever the data whores are calling themselves now, right? Supposed to blow it all up or change everything, right? When was the last time you seen a whistleblower like that be lit up like that? Have coverage like that, be lawyered up like that? I've never seen it. And
Never.
Right. And what happened after that? Meta stock went up. People started buying more Oculus. People started buying metaverse real estate. It's ridiculous.
And that was pre-Meta.
Fine. What? Yeah, I know, right?
That's how it got to be Meta, probably. Give it more power.
Okie doke. It's just the fucking okie doke all the goddamn time from America.
Let's go, Brandon. Fuck Joe Biden.
Another one of our friends in the building. How we doing tonight, young lady?
After this, he went to Queens, right? Y'all got to see the beginning of that shit. Just the first minute is a mess. It's a fucking mess.
Why?
This
what
is the president.
What was he talking about there in Queens? Because I try not to pay
gun violence. It's hilarious. Literally the next
he was
day.
in my, look, he was in my hood. I don't even like to hear that he was in Queens. Like that make me feel away. Like they should have really, chased him out the hood. I'm just saying.
Oh yes,
it's hard.
For those who missed this last week, it was priceless.
It was great, wonderful. It was great.
Chris, did you see it?
Yeah, I was at work, like trying to work and watch, and I'm sitting.
Had you seen that deep fake yet?
Yeah, I saw it. They got a lot of good ones though.
Oh yeah. Hey, you guys know I want to shout out to this guy. He's so funny. Kyle Dunnigan. He's a really funny comedian. He does a show on his channel. Shout out to Kyle Dunnigan. Every week, and he does different face swaps. So he changes his face in Instagram or whatever to a specific celebrity and does impressions. He does a mean Joe Biden. He's hilarious. If anyone in the chat knows him, he's the best.
I guess since you're really big on this carnation revolution, send it to me and I'll read it. I don't give a damn at this point. I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference on anything, but okay. I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't get.
Is Variant Robin Wardier?
Yes, send it to me, Choosy, and I will read it for you.
This just has to be seen to be completely understood. There's so much dystopian.
We also want to talk
about this clip. First of all, you're gonna notice the duck-shaped bill, fucking masks. Don't know why that's a thing. It is now, but it's very distracting.
Different manufacturer. That's all.
Anyway, other than that, it's just him being creepy as fuck and also stupid as fuck. But you'll see what I mean by that. Oh, we got a chat there too, so you can see the real-time comments. Those are hilarious.
More and more in these units of protection or gangs. What's that about? So we'll introduce you to Mr. Campbell. We also want to talk to you, Mr. President, about some of the trainings that CCD, Community Capacity Development, that's the organization I founded, that we provide. We provide human justice training. We provide diplomacy training. We provide what's called sustainable growth planning. So with your permission, sir, we're going to proceed and get into it. I want to introduce you first to Mr. Bryant.
How you doing, Mr. President?
Mr. Bryant is
Good to meet you.
He's a trainer. He's a Queensbridge.
I tell you what, man. That man's got some guns.
That's right. No more guns. No more guns.
No. I mean, these guns. These guns. Poor choice of words.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes, it was.
As my mentor and the ED has explained, my name is Shizam Bryant. I'm the field training specialist. And my role at community capacity development is to bring these trainings to the community and the young people and the staff. We have a host of different trainings. I can't get into all of them, but I'm gonna just touch on one of the ones that K. Bain has mentioned, which is Sustainable Growth Plan. That's my favorite because he designed this plan to foster self-discipline. And it's broken up into 3 categories. One is aspiration mapping, one is building bridges, and one is content management. Aspiration mapping is basically setting goals. But the thing about aspiration mapping, we touch on the humanity of people because we're a human justice site. So we deal with the 6 basic.
Sorry, I paused it real quick. Look, you know what? Because I really don't care about the content of this. I'm just gonna talk shit, right? You can't be wearing Timbs with jeans that tight, dog.
No,
The second
no.
dude with the blue jeans. You can't be doing that with your Timbs, man. You like, and this is my hood. I feel bad because they're supposed to know better, but clearly, they don't. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep us edutained. I'm gonna go back and play the clip.
Oh no, I think we're good. I mean, we know he's just fucking
And we
horrible.
address those, then we set some goals, then we do bridge building, listing contacts of people that can help you with your goals, listing contacts of people like the president that you want on that list to help you with your goals. And the last one is content management. This is highly important because this is the health and wellness for your mentality. And once you change the mentality, that's what we really use to get through.
Changing mindset. So imagine goal setting, right? I remember being 15 and I was.
Elle, is there anything else in this video? Is there another part of the video we should
No,
look at?
literally the first minute he fucked everything up there with what he said. That was all he needed. Less than 1 minute.
Oh, I had a question when you said.
Why?
Tina, it's just true, Tina. You see what I'm talking about. You can't wear your jeans that tight with such big Timbs.
When do you remember when this happened? This exact meetup, when it happened, the date?
The same day. This is
No,
all
I mean
the same
what
day.
date?
The 3rd.
Okay, when did
2
the
days ago.
God, so many blacks die under the hands of the police. That one that died, I completely forgot his name. I know Marcus and Chris can remind me that
Amir?
Yeah, Amir. Right. When did that blow up? When did that start gaining traction?
I'm not certain. Chris might remember.
Okay.
No, I was just saying the same thing. I don't recall. Damn, I would have to look it up off the top of my head.
Right. I mean, it happens.
I'm researching it. Okay, the Amir Locke shooting video came out yesterday. The day after.
Oh, okay. I thought it was connected. Never mind. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, a little off on it. I might not know what you.
Oh, did you see that video of the dude who was getting shot at the gas station? And he ended up having a gun on him, and he returned fire. And he picked up the guy's gun who was shooting at him. Then he came back 10 minutes later, only to light the dude back up at the gas station. Now he caught a charge. Man, I'll tell you, there's some crazy shit going on, man. If I find it, Marcus, I saw it online. I'll have to send that to you.
Okay. Oh, this is it. I just want to read this. An interesting comment.
Shadow ban.
Yeah, Choosy. Yeah, if you have it, send it to me. Or if you don't know how to get in touch with me, let me know, and then I'll give you my Twitter.
There's an echo.
There we go. Says, way I look at it, the whole planet is literally rigged to blow. So we're going to need MacGyver and Pootie Tang and our standing military officers united and cohesive with the constitutional keys. Well, I would slightly disagree. I don't feel like the planet is rigged to blow. I feel it's rigged to get rid of an inordinate amount of people. The planet's still going to be ticking along. It's kind of like you know, if we have let's say we had a bad fungus which we're growing. Eventually, we're going to be like, okay, gotta take care of this and kill that fungus off. And you know, if we get to a point where we start to do too much on the planet, then we will be removed from the planet. I don't think the planet's going anywhere unless some kind of asteroid's planning on coming. But since I'm a person of faith, according to my faith, I don't believe that's coming either. So I just believe that people will go away, not necessarily that the planet's rigged to blow.
We get MacGyver over. I mean, we get MacGruber over MacGyver. So that's highly incorrect.
Let's see. Mr. Street says, thank goodness I live in a state where it's been no mask mandates or only for stores in the very beginning. Yeah, unfortunately, at least half of us here are in states which are in a state which is fucking insane. They're still acting like this is the first days of the pandemic. I mean, literally here, I'm talking about the state legislatures, not the people necessarily.
Well, the governor has proposed calling it endemic, which a lot of countries, if you have noticed everything in the news, are pretending, to totally like look at the science now and be like, oh, we're endemic now, and that we're going to live with COVID. That's going to be the thing for a lot of different countries and places. And so that's what's happening here. Just so happened to happen after the mask mandate. I mean, after the mask was not worn during the Magic Johnson picture at the SoFi Stadium. SoFi, I don't really fucking care. But the LA Rams thing.
I mean, even if she says that, man, they're not gonna start treating it like an endemic. I mean, they're still talking about kids having to get vaccinated.
Vaccine mandate.
I think they're gonna do is just do the vaccine mandates instead of like all the mask stuff. They're gonna
and that's
do
worse. That's worse. I feel.
I know it's worse. That's why I'm saying, like, don't trust them. That any of these people, they don't give a two shits about you. They wait until like 90% in Denmark or something like that. 89%, however many, is double dosed. We'll say that, since there's no such thing as the other term. But that they're gonna not have the restrictions anymore. But that's what they're doing, is like making you thank them for punishing them, and now giving you back your power, which you should not have given away in the first place. But anyway, that's what's happening in California. Not so much LA. Can't speak for LA because who knows what the fuck Garcetti's doing at this point. But I do know that the California Department of Health chick, who looks like she's near death herself, Barbara Ferrer, has put out a plan barring any like real rises in cases and numbers, and hospitalization and stuff, that they'll maybe get rid of the mask mandate, which they'd have to do anyway, because it's up on the 15th. February 15th is the expiration date for the mask mandate here. So they got to move pretty quickly to see what they're going to do with that. Yeah, the narrative is crumbling, but like they're still trying to keep it alive with the Vax initiative. But I wanted to circle back to Syria because of the pushback that I saw on CNN of all places towards what was said to have happened in that attack. Yeah, it's insane. This is CNN. All right, cool.
That's reality on the ground. CNN's Arwa Damon reports that the story, what really happened, might be more complicated than what the Pentagon is saying. And we should warn you, the images in her report are graphic and disturbing.
A small body is carried down the dark stairs. The rescue workers speak in thick whispers. Wait, 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 one warns. It's stuck. They gently coax a tiny child's corpse out from under a large slab of concrete. It's a little girl. Another small body, a boy, is carefully wrapped in a blanket. This is what is left behind after U.S. Special Forces conducted an overnight raid in Syria. Later, the White House announced that they had, quote, removed the leader of ISIS, Abu Ibrahim al-Hashimi al-Quraishi. But the reality of what happened is uglier than that simple statement, and the fog of war is filled with questions. The owner of the building says that 2 families lived here. One man, his wife, and 3 children. And his sister lived upstairs with her daughter, Abu Qutayba says. 7 bodies were found here. President Biden says it was al-Quraishi who detonated a bomb, killing himself and his family. But were there more people in the house that night? We don't know yet, but in all, at least 13 people were dead in the raid's aftermath, including 6 children. Eyewitnesses described helicopter gunships hovering overhead for hours, warnings to evacuate the house and surrender, intense gunfire, hearing multiple explosions. Light clashes occurred, and then the helicopters struck with machine guns, this man remembers. One of the strikes was here, and the rest were striking the targeted house. Did the U.S. forces fire on other buildings? Footage from the scene and the surrounding areas showed damage to multiple other buildings as well. This child's body, green socks on tiny feet, was ripped in half. Taking out ISIS's leader may be a win for America. It may put a temporary damper on ISIS's abilities, but ISIS will rise again, and the war on terror will leave more innocents in its wake.
A Moroccan boy who is.
So it's like,
Go ahead, Al.
they're telling the truth now, like, or whatever is the truth technically, like from the images that we're seeing. But they're actually going against the U.S. government for once. And I'm just like, did they miss the memo? Aren't they supposed to be yelling about Russia and Ukraine right now? It's so weird. It pisses me off too, Tina. But, you know, the white helmets, what are they getting out of this? Like giving this, being the first to respond to this event. Have they changed? Like what's going on with them? And I don't know if I believe that. But maybe because the funding may have changed. Maybe their outlook changed. Yeah, the Georgia Guidestone. Yep. Those are some thoughts that we can't say.
Look, we're already, aren't we? Didn't the number of births decline this year or the last year compared to prior years? I think if you look at a couple of other nations, their death rate is over their birth rate. So, you know, they're upside down in a couple of places. So that's something to watch for. I mean, it's good to look at and keep that in the back of your mind, right? You know, the Guidestones. So
have y'all been
it's
to
crazy.
Denver Airport?
Yeah,
It's
you're talking
insane.
about that you're talking about that mural or drawing they have on the wall in the airport.
Not
there?
even just that. There's the gargoyle, and then there's like the, what is it, like, I don't know, it's like a symbol for the Freemasons. It's insane. It's a gargoyle in a suitcase. I don't get it. What the fuck does that even mean? You have to be there to understand what I'm saying. And then like the mural again, it was like gas masks and stuff.
No, I know exactly what you're
kids.
talking about. They you can't see it in the airport anymore. They painted over it.
Ah, that's interesting. Last time I went, I got pictures of it, and I was like, "This is some weird shit." I knew this was gonna be weird.
It's painted over. I wonder if I can find
It
that.
feels weird. The energy in that place is not good. I've been there.
If I can find
not
that.
good at all. Yeah, and a shit ton of tunnels. But that was supposed to be for legit reasons and nothing's conspiratorial. And the unicorn or whatever the fuck it is, like outside the horse, it's not a unicorn. There's a horse outside that's painted, and the dude who made it died while making it. So weird. Y'all know about that horse, right? In the chat. I'm not making things up.
I'm trying to find it. Where was that?
I believe you, Al.
There's a report about
Much as
the
I can.
Denver airport
Here we go.
where they were
I
saying
found it.
what the tunnels were for and stuff, and like they were trying to like move luggage or whatever. It was so stupid.
No, I don't know how to really work my whatchamacallit, as far as
Really?
zooming in on the pictures.
Mr.
But-
Street, you've been to Dallas International. What was up with that? Yeah, there's the mural we're talking about.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
This is all Freemasons shit. It was like commissioned by the Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
Not even joking. Like it literally says in the place, you can find the Freemason seal or something. I don't know what it's called.
Well, look at this one.
Look up Freemason thing at the Denver airport. Denver airport Freemason. Maybe it'll show it, the picture of it.
Yeah, you hadn't saw this before?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's insane, dude. It's what they have planned, allegedly. For everyone. We'll live in peace eventually.
Yeah, Chris, can you pull that up while I'm going through these photos?
After the nuclear holocaust.
Which one? What you want me to pull up?
What was it? Denver Airport Freemason connection.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I want y'all to know I ain't lying.
Here. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of weird stuff going on here.
I went a few years ago. It was nice though. There's a botanical garden in Denver that was really fun.
No, I
Got a
don't
lot of
know.
good pictures.
No, they have one with a mask on. I don't know if that's real or not. I don't remember.
There it is.
having that.
You got it right there. You can see it. The seal.
Oh, there we go.
The symbol. Sorry. That's it right there. That's what I was
Mhm.
talking about. You don't have the gargoyle, but you can look that up.
Yep. Well, it says it right there. March 19th, 1994. Denver International Airport. Wellington E. Webb, Mayor. Governor Roy E. Romer, I guess. And Secretary of Transportation, Federico Pena.
The most, what does it say?
What
if you look at the bottom
look at
on
this.
the
I'm like, is that on there too?
I didn't see that. I don't know.
I don't remember seeing that.
It looks kind of different.
And this
from what
is
I saw.
the unicorn you were talking about.
Yeah, I knew it was a unicorn. I'm not crazy. Okay.
Yeah,
Blue
yeah,
unicorn.
it has a. As far as I believe it
It's
has
been
a
a minute,
horn.
but I
believe
did
it has
see
a
it.
horn on the front of it.
That's in front of the airport. If you look
Yeah,
up
you see
gargoyle,
You see how if you look at it up close.
it's demon. It's demonic. It probably
Oh,
has
wait a minute! It has a
spirit.
YouTube video. You want me to pull that up? See what we got here. Go ahead. Well, seven creepy conspiracy theories about the.
That's
Dallas-
BuzzFeed, though. Do we want to give BuzzFeed our time? I don't know.
Yeah. No. Nope. Not doing
Gargoyle?
BuzzFeed. I just find it interesting.
Yeah, there's one.
That one's a real one. You see how it's a penguin
Mhm.
in a
Just
case
everything on
here,
fire in the
with
background. I love
Fire
it.
in the background.
But we'll be fine. We'll make it work.
Oh man!
So if you
it's-
look up gargoyle,
and
you
if you
should
look
find
at
that.
it from a distance, never mind. You can't see it the way I saw it. It almost looked kind of like a weird upside down cross from far back, but I'm not gonna go into all that.
Okay, so Mr. Street says there's a Masonic temple in the downtown office address in Dallas, I assume. Yeah, Dallas Landmark. Oh, their Landmark Masonic temple is the newest downtown office address. Yeah, like in LA specifically or Hollywood, Jimmy Kimmel's studio is
Yep.
literally a Masonic temple.
Yes, it is.
And it says it on the facade anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. This is one video. I know it's in my phone, so let me go to that. I know I'm gonna look at the video, and it's gonna be most of the time me looking down at my phone. But right here, let me click my camera off while I'm doing that, so it won't look so crazy. But
I'm gonna get the gargoyle.
I'm gonna try to find it real quick.
There's a talking one.
You said talking gargoyle?
They have a talking gargoyle.
I gotta
Oh my
find
gosh,
the
that's
name of
disturbing.
this video, and you guys will see the or all I gotta do is just type in, I guess, Jimmy Kimmel Masonic
Yeah, I go by there a lot and I see it.
I mean, I saw one guy's video, and is that the one? Yeah, I think this is it.
I love how I somehow got us from Syria, war crime, to Denver
Yeah.
airport.
Well, hey, this is we're following Elle down her rabbit hole. This is
Sorry,
Elle's rabbit
guys.
hole. So
This was not expected. This is a
not me.
U-turn.
This is not me this time.
It's a U-turn. Sorry, guys. Instead of drunk Marcus, you get this.
So I don't know if you guys can see that very well. I don't know how to make it bigger. But if you look right in, it says masonry building, temples among the nations are in the hearts of men.
Yeah.
Oh, no, let me see a little closer. Masonry builds its temples among the nation and in the hearts of men. That's what it says at the top right there.
Just men, guys. Just men.
Had you seen that before?
So woke. So woke.
No, I've never seen it before. This is all new to me.
Oh, I'll take real good pictures of it and I'll send it to you, E. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
love
I'm
taking
learning
pictures.
something today.
I mean, I got, man, if you guys really want some of my research, that you guys want me to break out some of that stuff, let me know. And I'll show you guys some of my research, which I've done over time, which has got me to where I am now.
I sent you the gargoyle video.
Gargoyle video, okay. Let me stop that one. Bring this up.
I've never heard of this chatty gargoyle. I didn't know it chatted. That's very disturbing.
Chatty gargoyle.
Love
Is it a sassy gargoyle at that?
Probably.
Is it sassy?
And it's woke. It's like, put on your mask.
Well, like that new Medusa commercial, which they have now.
Or like those robots that are telling you to put on your mask.
Or there's one that I saw that was worse than that. It was a little bit.
Or make your dinner at the Beijing Olympics. Anyway, here we go.
That's a little too close for comfort, lady.
Oh, damn.
What, you never seen a talking gargoyle before? Welcome to Illuminati headquarters. I mean, Denver International Airport.
This is awesome.
Hello? Do I know you?
Are you hungry?
Oh, I'm starving. You got anything for me? Those flowers look delicious.
Oh, it's because of the conspiracy.
Oh, it's because of the conspiracy. Look at me. I'm a little know-it-all. Will you get back over here? I got a question about this conspiracy. Did you have to buy an extra seat for your hat, sir? Sir, are you stealing a desk? Sir, you have resting, confused face. Do you have a favorite animal or pet?
A caterpillar?
A caterpillar? Wouldn't you rather have a gargoyle?
No!
Yes! You know, you can actually put the phone down and have a conversation with me. But no, I'm a millennial. I've got to post it. I've got to snap face it and Twitter book it. Excuse me, miss, I've got a stain that needs some polishing. Can I borrow your cleaning cart?
Oh, no!
I need your help. Guess what my favorite food is?
What?
No, I want you to guess.
Human.
Cumin. Yes, I love cumin.
I said human.
Oh, I thought you said cumin. I'm a real big spice guy. Furry hat guy. I can't believe you are wearing one of my friends.
Hey, this isn't your friend.
It used to be until you put it on your head, man.
How old are you?
Well, 243 years old now. I look good for my age, don't I?
Yeah, work out.
All the time. You should see my squats.
You're such a sweet talker.
Will you take me back home with you?
Let's go. I have some space in my backpack.
Actually, I think you have too much baggage for me.
That seems weird.
Well, yeah, they gotta.
That's from the
Anytime
airport,
somebody
by the
starts talking, anytime somebody starts talking about how any of this stuff looks and starts coming up with conclusions, they have to mock anybody who comes up with so-called conspiracy theories. So that was their way of pushing back.
Right.
Marcus, the comments in the on the video are hilarious. Like nobody's buying it, and they're like,
The gargoyle
hide in
sounded
plain
familiar. I
sight.
was like trying to pinpoint the
"Well
voice.
played, NWO." Well played.
People can't be this stupid. Oh wait, yes they can. Yes, the fuck they can. Too much back
I
and forth.
bet you guys
They did get a
funny
funny.
talking gargoyle tonight.
I do gotta admit, they got a pretty good comedian, to do that.
Right. They got one that was pretty
Yeah.
sharp. I'm like trying to remember, like trying to recognize the
It
voice.
sounded somewhat familiar.
Or he did. Just couldn't quite.
Speaking of
I'm sure they
comedians,
linked to it.
since we're going all over the place, I want to show you this one comedian which I ran across. Shit, if I can remember his name. I found him to be absolutely hilarious.
Wait, one moment, Marcus. I just read the article that I got this from Fox News, of course. But anyway,
Of course.
that the dude's name, the gargoyle's name is Den, 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 and he's like talking about conspiracies and shit. That brings me back to the Digital Entertainment Network, which was a pedophile, company from the likes of Brian Singer, who invested into it, and David Geffen, and Chad Shackley, and what is his fucking name? Brock Pierce, and Mark Collins Rector. So that's a fun name. That's a fun name to bring up. All right, do your thing. I just couldn't leave that alone because I
was like, oh.
I know it's horrible, but like, Den.
Well,
why would you name it Den?
Well, I don't
Den
get
of
the.
Despair. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I guess my mind wasn't doing the
Well, no
the
one's
next
mind
step
would
with you.
go there.
Let's see.
Only me.
Well, you're too smart for us. That's why.
No, I'm too obsessed. I guess I'll link the article, guys, so y'all can read it.
Yeah, check this guy out. It's kind of funny.
It was disgusting. A lot of people are saying it. To replace him, I would suggest Ivanka, but she's going to be the president. So I would say Hannity would be great. That's great, right?
Unlike Mr. Gorsuch, we need more justices who are wearing masks.
Must appoint a white justice, not an African American, but an American.
She wouldn't want me to say this, but I think that Michelle would be a great justice.
I nominate myself, a great American patriot, to take over for Stephen Breyer, a radical leftist.
I love that Justice Breyer. Whoever Joe picks is going to be good. Oh.
Biden must pick a justice who is not a member of the top 10th of 1%. Biden thinks he can just shove another Democrat on the court. Floridians are angry, and I'm angry.
The Supreme Court is motioning for a new pick.
So I like beer.
It was disgusting.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I just want to throw in a little humor there. I ran across him, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's hilarious." I'm trying to.
Mitch
trying
McConnell.
my best to get an interview with him, so I think that would be fun.
Look,
But
Mitch
go ahead.
McConnell has no lips. He don't have a top lip or a bottom lip. You can't trust those people who don't have any lips. I'm just saying.
Hey,
Or my
Marcus,
name
since
for him
you
is
put,
Bitch McConnell.
since
What'd
you
you say?
put that since you put that clip up, we could look at a little bit of Kyle. I think would be fun. Doing Joe Biden at the beginning of the last episode of this show. I put it in the chat.
Kyle.
It's hilarious.
Kyle.
No one will be mad. And you can start it at 12 seconds.
Marcus, you want me to post it or you got it?
No, I got it. It started coming in before I could get it all the way up. But yeah, this is, yeah, wow.
It's hilarious. It'll brighten your day.
My fellow Jamaicans, our nation is in a crisis. The Decepticon variant Hobo 19 is still killing fat people. Inflation is destroying our fire jars, and now the Ukraine is being sexually raped. That's why I've asked Congress to order a full-scale attack on Joe Rogan. Not Joe Rogan, the Russian guy, the guy with the shirt, Pootie Tang, man, bad dude. We gotta come together, man. Get this guy. It's got cranes. It's got all the cranes. We need for better build back. The build back bit better. The better build back better plan, man. You say it 3 times fast, pal. You say it. Shit, guy over here. Anyway, let's start the show.
I shoot my show alone.
It's really fun. And he does a great Alec Baldwin too. And he does his excuse me's at the end. He's like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
Wow,
So
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, that guy's pretty good.
And it's pretty good.
I was wondering what other topics that we needed to, what was that? Oh, Chris, let's go on ahead and get into NFL, the whole Brian Flores situation.
Well, for those who don't know, Brian Flores was the former Miami Dolphins coach. He filed a lawsuit against the NFL, saying that they have racist hiring practices. Nothing new under the sun. If you just take a look at the ownership of the NFL, it's quite clear who they prefer and who they don't like, or who they don't prefer. Let's put it that way. So, Brian Flores is not a white guy. He's not an older white guy, and he doesn't appear to be a conservative older white guy. So clearly he's not going to be in the running for head coaches around the league. I mean, they gave him a shot, but, it's not their preferred one. But anyway, just look up the story. You'll see that New England Patriots coach, what's his name? Belichick. And Coach Belichick was texting Brian Flores, telling him congratulations on being interviewed, etc. Well, come to find out, Brian Flores was already the teams that Brian Flores was going to interview for to become a head coach. They had already made their decisions. But the NFL has a Rooney Rule, which states that you have to at least interview a minority, right? Even if you don't plan on hiring him, even if you have your guy in mind, you still need to, interview a minority. So Brian Flores was the minority in the room in this particular instance with a few teams. So he went ahead and filed a lawsuit against the NFL, stating that they have racist hiring practices. And of course, the conversation then now it moves into race, and we're stuck on race, right? Oh, they did this to a black guy. It's these old white men. They did it to a black guy, blah, blah, blah. What I found to be more interesting was that the owner of the Miami Dolphins was, according to the lawsuit, was willing to pay Brian Flores, the former coach of the Dolphins, up to $100,000 a game for every game they lost. so that they could get a better draft pick in the following year's draft. I would like to say your sports are rigged and they fucked up, whether you realize it or not. Some people are pushing back against this news that he was paid $100,000, or that an offer was even made for him to be paid $100,000 for the Dolphins to lose. But we know the trickles. We've heard the story trickling out from other players, coaches, people around the league. We do know that teams tank, right? How do they tank? Do the owners offer everyone money? Do they just make it known? We don't know the details, but your eyes don't lie to you when you're watching stuff on the field that don't make sense. So again, they'll stay on the race part of it, but to me, it was more interesting that to have someone who was in the coaching position come out and say that the owner was paying him to lose games. So you can just imagine how this works out over the course of a 16, or what is it now, 17 game season, and over 30 teams. It's how much money is spent on these things just to lose. It must be nice, right? Like, just to have so much money just to pay somebody just to lose. So just keep that in mind. The Super Bowl's coming up next weekend. All this shit is staged in some way, shape, or form. Just try to look for it. That's the fun I get in it now, is looking for the bullshit.
Yeah, I shared this article in the background just so you guys can see one of the articles talking about it.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, that way it'll be able to back up what Chris is saying. Wardeer put in there he believes the Giants also. Yes, from my understanding, it is the Giants. Actually, I think he expanded it out to all 32 NFL teams. But the specific teams in question were the Giants, the Denver Broncos, and I'm blanking on the other team, but there was a third team which was indicated also. I know Chris brought up what happened with the Giants, but with Denver, he went for the interview with Denver, and John Elway, who is the GM right now. John Elway and a couple of the other GMs all showed up an hour late and drunk to the meeting that he was supposed to have. The reason why they came out with that Rooney Rule is because they noticed at a certain time that there had become that they noticed that 70% of the league is so-called African Americans, but they were behind on black quarterbacks. That was like one of the only position that was not allowed for you to have like a black quarterback. That was like something you wouldn't see very often, maybe 15 years ago. Now you're starting to see a couple bit more, but there were rarely any black GMs and rarely any black head coaches. And so that was something that the Rooney Rule was supposed to push back on, so that they would at least have a chance to interview the coaches. Oh, good night, Tina. Thanks for joining us. But yes, white dudes started football, correct? American football. We're not talking about football. But that's they started this. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, they started that rule to at least give black coaches a chance to be able to be in front of somebody. As of late, there is only one current black head coach, when there were starting to be a couple at a certain point in time. It's now only down to Mike Tomlin is the only black head coach. And Mike Tomlin, and it's kind of funny when you look at it, he's literally had not one single losing season. This year was like his worst season, and he went 500. And so we're looking at, and he's won 2 Super Bowls. So we're looking at a coach which is going to be more than likely a Hall of Fame coach. So what it's saying is you need to at least be a Hall of Famer to a Hall of Famer level as a black coach to even stay in there. Hey, propaganda, how we doing, brother? And remind me of propaganda. I'm gonna give you guys an update on what we've heard about Mr. Wilson of late. It's good news so far, so we're gonna bring that up. I get that, you know, some people don't feel like this is much of a big important story, but it is for some of us. That's all I'll say.
Well, I mean, Marcus, just think about it. This is an industry, right, in which, what do you have, 30 owners, right?
32.
They pay people 30, what'd you say?
32.
Correct. So there's 32 owners. They pay these guys collectively billions of dollars every year. The marketing that takes place during an NFL presentation is not a small thing, right? The amount of beer they sell you, the amount of Toyota trucks they sell you, the amount of GoDaddy commercials they show you. You know, this is a major part of American society. So while maybe some of us, you know, are over it, there's still millions, there's still plenty, there's still a significant portion of society that is still into this stuff and is still influenced by it. So that's why it's worth covering as well, you know?
Well, another reason why I feel like it's something important to cover, and people might not see it this way, but is my mic still? Yeah. People might not see it this way, but if you look at wealth and the wealth gap between the black community and many other communities, if it wasn't for these bread and circuses, a lot of black people wouldn't have a lot of money. And it wouldn't, and this money goes towards helping our communities in various different ways. A lot of athletes donate a lot of money, start new schools and things like that, which help the school systems where many of us grew up. For instance, Derek Thomas, who was a longtime Chiefs favorite and a football great, literally created a school and funded, you know, a lot of programs to help inner city schools. So I mean, it still is an important topic to go into, because this is a lot of money, which is involved, which helps, you know, the so-called black community. And when they're not allowed to advance into positions like head coaches and general management, it is keeping that gap between, you know, between, you know, I hate to put it this way, but blacks and whites. It keeps the wealth gap increasing on certain things like that. The fact that you don't have any so-called black owners or virtually minority owners in general. You literally only have one owner who is a minority, and that would be Shad Khan out of Jacksonville, Florida. I mean,
that is my guy, Khan. He's owning Jacksonville.
Well, he's not Indian though, but
check out the propaganda in the background while you guys are talking.
No, I wasn't even paying attention to it. I'll click it off.
It was literally Russia, Ukraine, like the false flag shit. Like they're already like going hard with that.
All right, War Deer, we'll catch you later. Says I'm going to take off too. Gotta wash that. Gotta wash.
If I wanted to watch propaganda, I could just watch Canadian Bacon and get the exact same plot point, right? So,
well, another thing which happened interesting about this is, you know, it's a wealth thing, and I mean, I think about how many people where they use this money, even though it's for bread and circuses, they use this money to be able to help feed their family. I mean, majority of the black players and these black head coaches come from deeply impoverished households and families, and literally lift up their whole damn communities this way. And the fact that you know, regardless of if it is bread and circuses, if it's Hollywood is bread and circuses also, but do we
Yeah, I
feel
do
like,
agree.
but do we feel like black actors should be, it's all right to pay black actors a lot less than white actors? No. I mean, so all of these things we have to take seriously. They do
Well, I don't
matter.
believe anyone was saying that, but you know, it was
No,
it
I,
was mentioned.
I feel like people can look at it as, well, they're all just multimillionaires. It doesn't matter. Or all it matters because you have billionaires
No one said it
who
didn't matter though.
who are treating this, you know, a certain way. Also, when it gets into the fact of, you know, yeah, Hugh Jackson, who through various different things, his teams were losing and they were building a bad roster intentionally for him to go out there and lose. And then he goes out there, who he's a great coach, and his name is being smeared and run through the mud because these owners want to tank the team to get other players in there and another coach. And then what happens is, it's not like, oh, well, we'll let you be bad and then we will give you an opportunity down the road. No, these black coaches are not given a second chance to be head coaches. It's not like the NBA where, like, somebody made the joke, Doc Rivers gets fired every 5 minutes and always gets a new job. It's not the same thing. These black head coaches, once they get fired, they don't get another opportunity as a head coach most of the time. Only the ones who win. I think about Herm Edwards, who's still pretty young. Herm Edwards could still be coaching. Marv Levy, once he got fired, he's no longer coaching. I mean, and I could just keep going down the list. I mean, there's only been 17 black head coaches throughout the history of the NFL. That still goes down to something like 5%.
Oh, wow.
That goes down to something like 5%. That, I mean, and it's ridiculous. And in fact, the thing about it is, Brian Flores, when he got fired from Miami, it wasn't that he had a bad record. And he was dealing with injuries and all these kind of things. They hired him on. They wanted him to lose games. They actually set up illegal meetings with other players to bring in, and then wanted to pay this guy $100,000 a pop to lose. They apparently, it looks like they paid Hugh Jackson, whether knowingly or unknowingly at the time, $750,000 to lose. And now you're starting to hear more and more coaches come out and start talking about how this is a problem that's been going on with this race issue within the NFL. And so that's why I just wanted to bring it up. It felt like it's something where it might seem like it might not matter as much, but it is something that, you know, that matters, you know.
I just don't think anyone was saying that though. There were discussions happening, but it was just regarding football itself and wasn't about this story specifically. So I just wanted to make that clear for everybody that nobody said it didn't matter. So, and I'd love to listen to Chris talk about whatever all day long. I love your cadence. I love your point of view, Chris. You're the best. Not the best. We don't want to say who's the best, but you're one of the best.
Stop it, Al.
I enjoy it.
It's all right. You ain't got to do all that, Al.
Love and hugs. Love and hugs.
Yeah.
Don't
Now I wouldn't be now at this point. If any coach does step up and take a position, now it's going to look like, oh, well, they picked him just because, you know, to get this heat off of him. And this goes back to the whole kneeling issue with Kaepernick.
But
why they
Marcus,
didn't give a shit about the kneeling thing, and while they were ready to kick players off the team for the kneeling and all that, or players who were pushing the whole Black Lives Matter stuff at the time. This all goes back to that, and then up to people like Pelosi who wanted to kneel all of a sudden.
Look, you know what? It all will be forgiven come next week once the halftime show hits, and you see Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and whoever else, Eminem, and whoever else they have coming out there. They're gonna be
Don't-
like, "Oh my God, yo, change that background, kid." Nah,
That's
no,
fucked up.
no.
We didn't need a reminder. We got it in our heads forever.
I brought that on just for that. I put that up just so I can be able to have it for moments like this.
Watch, they'll kneel for a mirror or something at the halftime show, like a 30-second moment of silence or something like that.
You know what's fucked up about the halftime show also is that these people who do these things, they do it just for the clout. They don't get paid, like legit. Like it's pretty insane when you think about it. Like,
you're talking about the
they go
halftime
on those
performers?
things. Well,
Marcus, that was violation.
a while back
kid.
there was
That
news about
violation.
that.
Don't do that again, Marcus.
How about this one? I'm gonna play around with you guys for a moment. How about this one? Oh,
My internet's about to stop working, Marcus.
What in the world?
That's what we need to do. Go after the big fish. All us little fish come together and go.
I did
after
not
the
know
big
what
fish.
reference you were making.
Yes. Yes, quit violating you like that. I'm sorry. I just had to do it one good time. No, I mean, like for instance, Dr. Dre and all them they're gonna get paid for this, trust me.
I'm sure they will, but back in the past they have not paid them.
And that's part of
which is
some
another
of the
part of
stuff.
their history.
Well, that's something that's being brought up too.
Remember the NFL tried to fix racial problems by bringing in Jay-Z to handle all the entertainment. So now Jay-Z gets to bring in Dr. Dre and company. So the NFL would take this bad press because they know they're going to put on a great show come next week Sunday, and the conversation is going to shift from them paying coaches to lose and to not giving a fuck what, and to giving fake interviews knowing you already have a coach. You can't even keep it real and say, "No, Marcus, sorry, we don't want to interview you. We already have a coach."
That's shit.
I'm gonna have you get dressed, put on your flyest cologne and your best outfit, and come to my interview, all to know like, yo, I'm never gonna hire this dude. I already got a guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him.
Have you ever been on an interview like that?
Like that's such a waste of time. Yeah, I have been. Like they already made their choice. I've been on the interview.
I hate it.
And it's like, why did you bring me in here? You could have told me.
They already,
you could have told me you found somebody, no harm, no foul. But I'm more pissed off because you wasted my time, brought me in here. I spent time ironing this outfit, kid. I came in fresh to death.
Don't forget, you had to hop on a plane too.
Correct.
That's even worse. Yeah.
That's much worse.
Hollywood.
I figure since it's gonna be here next week, I'll throw the Hollywood out there. I know Chris is just loving it, huh?
That's not really in Hollywood though.
All the backgrounds. I know it's not quite. This is Elle's neck of the woods.
Yeah, I was just up looking at the sign before on a hike.
I like the changes. I like you moving in and out with it. I like that. That's progress.
I got a couple more too.
You doing that off of StreamYard, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you have to go in and you have to make sure you save them all.
You got to upload and save them. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, but for each channel, I had to go in and go upload these individually. Let's say I'm gonna show you. Here's my other one. I guess I'll debut it. This is for my other channel. Hope you guys like it. And if you don't know what that you don't know what that is in the background, that's Kansas City.
Yeah, it's Kansas
City.
It's
KCK.
Actually, KC Mo.
It's KC Mo. Okay.
KCK.
But sticking with the sports, this kind of bleeds us right into, the other guy who covers sports for a living at times, but he also has a podcast that has, for whatever reason is turning into the Democrats' main focus of February 2022, which is to get rid of a certain podcast on Spotify. I don't quite understand it. I mean, I understand it, but I don't, because I'm looking at it like Spotify is on the hook for paying this guy what, over $100 million for whatever the length of their deal is. He could leave and start his own website. He could charge people $3.99 a month. He has enough followers that he would cake up off of $4 a month from
easily,
all of his subscribers. Easily cake up. So he doesn't even really need the 100 million from Spotify. And we know that we know they want to control the narrative on Corona, right? We know between the government, the pharmaceutical companies, and I don't know who else, but we'll just take those two. We'll stick with those two entities, right? We know they want to control the narrative. Joe Rogan is popular because he is, for whatever reason. He has millions of followers and viewers. He actually does better on his program than all of the mainstream talking heads combined. So I understand what they're trying to do, but this whole old head move of Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, and Barbara Streisand, there's other shit at play here, and I wonder if it's just to get Joe Rogan to bend. I wonder if it's to get Joe Rogan to bend, not even necessarily trying to suppress the information that his guests provide. There's something deeper than that.
Hey, I wanted to, I guess I have one in. No, never mind. Going ahead.
I have something for that.
Come on, Elle, go.
Okay, so like at first it was about the COVID misinformation thing, right? And they went after that pretty hard. And then the, Spotify deletion thing happened, and the initiatives from the old fucks who nobody cares about anymore anyway, telling them that they would take off their music from the platform. Then that didn't work, and the public still were like, whatever about it. Then they brought out old clips of him and went with the racist thing. That's what they're going with now. They went with the transphobic thing a long time ago, at the beginning, and then racism, and then that didn't work, and then they go back to COVID, and now they're back to racism. So he said the N-word in several episodes. Apparently there were 71 episodes, I believe, removed yesterday from Spotify that were older episodes, like over 11 years, allegedly. Not allegedly. That's what happened. But there were many utterances of the N-word from him, and it was taken out of context entirely and put in a compilation that somebody actually spent time researching and putting together over 11 years of footage. And there were comments that he made that he wouldn't make today that he made back then as well, that he owned up to and did an apology. Do you have the apology video at all, Marcus?
Oh, I mean, I guess I could pull it up, but Joe Rogan, to go off what Elle is saying, Rogan put out a video where he addressed him saying the N-word. He said nigga a bunch of times on his program, which is why what Elle was saying. There were 70 episodes of his pulled from Spotify. So again, they want you to think about COVID misinformation, and it wasn't. And now they want you to think he's racist, so you can't listen to him. But again, those episodes they pulled, the 70, they were old as hell. So clearly, they were these very same people who are the Neil Youngs of the world and the Barbara Streisands of the world and whoever else wants to be out there virtue signaling. It was no problem when Rogan was saying nigga, 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 nigga. Your music was fine to be, listened to and streamed via Spotify. But now we in this bullshit ass time where, COVID and all the other bullshit. So now you're like, well, I don't want my music on there anymore.
Yeah, you never cared about that. They never cared
correct.
about that. I mean,
No,
there's one thing I didn't have a problem with any of those. It was one thing which he said, which I did have a problem with, the Planet of the Apes comment. But I put it this way: in all honesty, if I went through and scoured through every white celebrities thing, I guarantee you I can find something to nail every one of these motherfuckers against the wall. Neil Young himself made a comment about gay people spreading AIDS, and he didn't
use the
want
F
to get.
word.
Yeah, he said, I won't say it because I don't want to get myself in trouble, but he made the F, double G T word. He said
those agates. He said those agates.
Yeah. He
Maggots.
said that. Yeah, he didn't want them. He didn't want them handling his groceries because they could give him AIDS. But yet, this is the person which everybody's rallying around and have no problem with. And that's my thing. These same people who are pushing this all support Joe Biden. How many racist comments has Joe Biden made?
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it
and
is,
not even out of context.
yeah,
There's
not
no
out of context.
that makes
Just
it right.
said it racist. Yeah, I mean,
Rachel Jungle, like
I don't want my kids going to school with basically nappy head kids and Chicanos.
And Marcus, these are the same people. The same people, right? Same people telling you, oh, don't mess with Rogan. He said the N-word. He's racist. Very same people telling you, oh, go fuck with Joe Biden and vote for him. Vote blue no matter who. Meanwhile, not only does Joe Biden have a history of comments, right? As their comments. He has a history of voting, of putting forth sponsoring legislation that has been detrimental to black folks.
Mm-hmm.
He's responsible for helping to direct funding for probably private prisons, additions in budget for the police station, for police around the country. So, again, you can't listen to these liberals, these Democrats, these wannabe like arbiters who would tell you what is good, what is right. Yo, you really have to ignore them because they would. They're so annoying, and I'm telling you, there's a bunch of my family too. It's hard, so
I feel you there.
like I'm very clear as to who we are talking about. These are the very same people who would tell me, Chris, you're not bothered by Joe Rogan. Joe Biden is like a really good president. So the disconnect is everywhere.
You
And
realize,
also-
I mean, and I was gonna say real quick, you realize a lot of these people still love Hillary, and they remember she's the super predator woman. She's the one who said what's her name, Margaret Sanger, who was happy about abortion clinics because she was talking about killing black babies. You realize that these are the same people which they hold up on a pedestal. I mean, not too long ago, she was the one when she ran against Obama. She put out a picture of him in his native Kenyan clothing, and then made the jokes about him possibly being a terrorist. Well, his thing. Bill Clinton with the whole sister soldier moment. I mean, we can go on and on and on about how racist most of these damn people are, and then they want to sit there and come out of their mouth and try to take somebody down for racism. But go ahead, El.
And then like they're so quick to defend on Twitter, I guess the twits are so quick to defend Whoopi Goldberg for her comments and her ridiculousness that she said in her fake apology, which was just the most hilarious thing ever because like you're digging your grave right now. What are you doing? But anyway, after she said that, she was taken out of context,
That Whoopi shit is another thing, just like what we're talking about with the NFL coach. The Whoopi matter is one to look at for a number of reasons, right? Because these very same people were screaming Black Lives Matter, right? ABC, NBC, CBS, all these channels. Oh, Black Lives Matter. when you go to their website, what they had a big banner on it that said Black Lives Matter. You know, oh, we got to listen to black people, especially it was about listening to black women, right? We need to center black women. We need to focus on black women. Listen to black women. Black woman says, yo, you know, Jewish people, they got some. Fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
The
Happy Black
moment she
History
said
Month.
something they didn't like.
I mean, it's
It happened before that, by the way. She said something. She violated the vaccine narrative or something like that, and then all of a sudden it became.
She got
notice-
COVID, and she was like, "Why did I get COVID? I have the vaccine."
Yeah,
They're like,
she was-
"Shut the
she
fuck
all
up!
of a
Shut the
sudden
fuck up!
be-
Stop talking."
And what Glory says is perfect. It goes back to what it says on my Twitter page.
Stop simping for celebrities, politicians, period. Given pure facts and history, there's a huge ass chance they're scumbags anyway. Glory,
That's
you're
true.
correct.
Thank you, Glory.
Very
And what
true.
she say, with all this going on, I just feel like Black History Month gets more disrespected every year. Of course it does.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be February either.
Well,
Yeah, they gave us
because it's the shortest month.
Yeah, they
I
gave
mean, the
us-
shortest.
Why didn't they give you January? January would make more sense, right? Because MLK, right?
Any
They can do it
other
all at
month
once.
that had more. Look, how about any month that has more than 28 days in it?
Again, that's 31. That's the most. Have it.
Also, well, my thing is, why put it in the cold time of the year? People who obviously came from a non-cold place. Why don't you put it in fucking September? Why don't you put it during the summer?
Sure.
Put it in August. How about that? I mean, but yeah, let's make it in the coldest part of the year, so you can't really celebrate it. You know, it's
Like if we're allowing things to happen, like let's fix things that are just stupid in the first place, that everyone can agree y'all deserve more than 28 days or 27, depending.
Or why leave it to a month? Just teach the real fucking history all year long. I don't need 28 days. I don't need 31. I don't need 30. How about, you know, when we're covering everything from January through.
How about every year is everybody's day? Everybody's year.
It seems like the
Everybody
white
talks about
person's
everything.
history gets the most time and months and days of the year.
Because they're all white
Like, but the
dudes
rest
who are
of
in
them,
a
but
in
all
a
the other non-white
fraternity.
people get like a specific month and a specific day and a specific person.
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we
Well,
just
the Asians
why don't
get
we
a
just
month,
tell
the
the
Latinos get a month.
why don't we just tell the truth? I'm just saying, just tell the goddamn
Well,
truth.
yeah, just tell
and we don't
more
need
actual
to have
real
a
history.
month. Correct. But you know, it's like
It's all
everything else,
divisive
you know, it's all
anyway.
tainted. The people in control don't really want us to have, you know, conversation based on reality. You know, that's just where we are. Glory Jones, but they gave y'all a hip hop day. Yeah, exactly. They gave us hip hop day. Ah.
I mean, I wish I had that one clip that I could show you guys. You know, it's back on that other topic that we were talking about, but it was it was Ted Koppel, and Ted Koppel was interviewing, I can't remember, some coach, and they basically went into how, you know, well, black players, they can't be quarterbacks and stuff because, you know, their brains can't handle that kind of capacity to be a quarterback.
They're not that smart. They can't figure out how to throw the ball and think at the same time. I mean, that's not what they said, but that's essentially what
That's the gist of it.
Yeah. They, you know, it's always like that. I don't even take offense to that stuff anymore, Marcus. I'm just so used to it. It's just like, I look at it, you trying to get me emotionally worked up, right? You trying to get me to look at this stuff, feel a certain way, and one of the low key what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but one of their one of their things is to get us emotionally worked up, put it in the political realm, and then get us to continue to vote for Democrats by saying like, look, the Republicans are worse. Y'all need to vote Democrat. And it's just like, dog, that shit don't work on me no more.
Well, the thing about
It's
it is,
really
I don't look at it as a Democratic or whatever issue. It's pretty much, and I had a white person say this to me earlier today. If you go through most white celebrities, they all think this way. They all look down. I mean, why is it that Denzel makes like, what is it, like 6-7 million per movie? And you got people like Mark Wahlberg who makes 50 million a movie. Are we really saying Mark Wahlberg is that much more talented? Are we even saying Mark Wahlberg is more talented than Denzel Washington? Is that what we're saying here?
You know, he did a hate crime.
You know much talent? Yeah, he did back in the day. We know in the 80s. But Marcus, you
Against black
telling
people,
me that
but go ahead.
Yeah. Marcus, you tell me Mr. Wahlberg is not more talented than Mr. Washington? Yo, when you got to talk to like a CGI bear all day, that does require some kind of talent, kid.
I mean, he was Marky Mark. Marcus, what are you hating on him for? He's got
He has a good
Wahlberg
vibration.
now. What are you hating on the man for? He's an empire.
Yes, he was a midget underwear model too. You know. Oh, sorry, that's right. That's a bad term. I'm getting canceled next.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't say that.
That's right. Well, he's a 5'3" underwear model.
Don't say the M word. Don't say the M word.
Never.
I said M. The M word. You ruined my joke.
Oh, sorry. I thought she said N. She said M. Yeah, so you can't say midget at all anymore. There's a lot of words you can't. Yo, Marcus, we should do a show. Wasn't Mark Wahlberg a rapper? Yeah. He was a rapper. He was an actor. Yeah, he did catch a hate crime shit. He did do some foul shit to some black people in Massachusetts.
He got forgiven. It's okay.
Yeah, he did get caught up with some foul shit in the 80s or 90s doing something to black folk. Yeah, Marky Mark is mad short, Glory. Yeah, he ain't, you know. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these celebrities are mad short. That's what I've learned.
A lot of them. Like, I'm short as hell, too. I'm only 5'10".
Compared to them, you're still a giant.
I know, right?
I'm 5'7".
And I don't know. Elle's seen me in person. Am I short or tall?
Tall.
Am I Hollywood tall or just normal tall?
Normal.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about let's say 6 foot. Somewhere around there.
I'm
Plus
gonna
or
let
minus.
taller than you then.
Thank you, Glory.
Marcus is a good height.
I'm a good height. Yeah, so for people who think that I'm like not a real person and don't interact with real people in real life, Glory has seen me in person, and so I've seen Elle multiple times.
I just haven't met Chris or E, but I would love to.
Yeah, me neither, but he's like the ghost. He becoming like the ghost in Machine. I don't know where he gonna be at.
I don't know. I need to do a trip out to the East Coast. So I mean, I don't need time. I'm gonna spend some of this vacay time, which I always stock up. Because for those who don't realize, I'm one of those people who like never take time off work.
I know, Thomas, right? We got an inch on him. Fuck it, I'll take it.
I got about 2 inches, maybe 2.5.
This is going.
Yeah, man, y'all need. You should know, Elle. It's not going where Kelly's not in the chat, so don't do that. But
where's Kelly?
With that being said,
and Glory's hair is more awesome in person.
But yeah, Marcus, you need to come down here to the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to the East Coast. Yeah, get out of there. It's what was it? It was like 70 something degrees today. Like it was
It was
beautiful
70
out here.
degrees.
Look
70,
at Matt
yeah.
Marxus. Look at what he's doing, man.
Yeah, that would be funny. I don't know. Do you guys know? Do you guys know who Umar Johnson is? I know who he is. Do you, E?
No.
You better eat. What? You don't know who Dr. Umar is?
I wait. Just bring him up. I would probably remember.
You know, he be on the Breakfast Club and he's all over the place. He does a lot of videos. You know, he's the one who said Frederick Douglass wasn't good enough because he had a white chick.
Why do I remember? Okay. I know who you're talking about.
For those who don't know,
He's got the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School, and he's always raising money for the school.
That never opens.
Yeah. Oh, look up Dr. Umar. Man, Marxist said Emmanuel's not black. Damn, son, they taking shots at my dog. Nah, he black.
Nah, that's okay. That's fine. That's like that's that shit I got from like high school and whatever.
Well, according to Joe Biden, nobody's black here.
That is a real fact. Like I would have to find a new yeah, that's him. That's Umar Johnson right there, E.
God damn. Why don't I remember?
You don't know this guy? Really?
No.
My ex is 6'8". He's a sweet person, but I like being taller than the person I'm kissing, so I stand on the piano bench to smooch. Well,
that's extra. He was 6'8". Well, how big is that piano bench? And how tall are you?
Exactly. You gotta be about what 6'2" already.
Already.
That was a weird flex there.
Yeah, I didn't understand it, but it's all good, Sogato.
I do what I do.
Do you? Do you?
Let's see. What else did we want to bring up? Oh yeah, you guys know that Biden sent in troops to Poland and Germany. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. So do we? You know, I guess we could make this the final like topic, but what are the odds that this particular episode turns into an actual like, you know, hot war?
I put it this way. If it does, it'll be an accident. Now, do I think that that's not possible? No, it's not. See, my thinking is because like Franco had asked, and for those who don't know, we were on the Frank analysis the other day. Go and check that out. Shout out to our boy Franco. And shout out to, you know, all our friends and content creators that are in here. Atras, he makes content, so go check his channel out. Of course, Slow News Day. And War Deer also. So, you know, as far as the content creators that I remember seeing in here. So, you know, make sure to shout them all out. I honestly think that it wouldn't just be a Russia type thing. With and I guess since it's the last topic, I'll throw in and interweave the other story. China and Russia just had the first face-to-face meeting in a while because, you know, with the whole pandemic, nobody's been meeting face-to-face for the most part. So they are making more and more and more plans to work with each other. If it was just China doing something over here, just Russia doing something over here, then I wouldn't be as concerned. But when I see Russia doing shit, China doing shit, North Korea doing shit, Iran got some shit popping off here, and I see Europe kind of pulling back from the United States, all of these things are spelling for a situation which can get out of control. I think a lot of people underestimate the stupidity of Joe Biden. I really think people do. I mean, you got an old school. Remember, he told Trump, if I could, I would take you around the back of a building and beat your ass, basically. Joe Biden, you ain't beating shit. You're so old, I doubt you can beat your dick. So you, I'm sorry, I should have said that. But I mean, Biden is stupid enough to say some just shit that's going to get us in some trouble. I mean, remember what Obama said about him? He said, you know, Joe, he's my friend, but Joe can fuck anything up. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't rule shit out with Joe Biden. That dude's a fuck up. Let's just be honest. I mean, this dude ran for president. He ran for president 3 times and he backed into it this last time. Only because they hated Bernie Sanders so badly. They're like, ooh, we can't even take the chance that he does one of the things he wants to do. We
Just
can't
one.
take that chance.
Just one.
He does one of them. Fuck
Not
that.
even half of one.
Even though we know he don't have the backbone to push for
Right?
any of the shit.
Not even like a portion of a half of a piece. Like, yo, we can't allow any of that. Look, they came to South Carolina. They said, "Oh, election day today is today." They said, "Oh, the election's over. Biden's the winner." Like, yo, you don't even let nobody vote.
I'm sorry. I already know somebody's gonna make this into a quote. I probably shouldn't have said that shit. Somebody's gonna quote, yo, young Morpheus, Biden couldn't beat his own. That's gonna be, you know, already meme somewhere. I just see Biden is one of those dudes who he runs on. I mean, in all honesty, Biden is just Trump.
Yes, Glory.
See, Trump, if you stroke his ego, Trump will do whatever you want. It'd be like, what? Y'all chop off people's heads? But you think I'm nice? Cool, man. Let's give you some more weapons. And then Biden on the opposite, he works. He like, you think I'm a bitch? Fucking nuke him. No, Mr. President, no, let's not nuke him. No, that motherfucker's talking shit. Let's nuke his ass. That's what I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. But Biden is, they're two fucking emotional ass dudes who should not have too much power. Neither one of them. And that's the problem when you put literally angry old men in charge. I mean, I swear, dude, he'll be thinking it's a good thing too. So yes, I mean, somebody might have to wrestle his old ass away from the damn red button because he might just do it. So if somebody tells him, yo, Mr. President, we have the Russians on the border and Ukrainians, and it looks like it might be a situation. You're like, well, bust your shit, bitch. I mean, I could see him telling the generals to do it. They're like, Mr. President, we have the green light to fire. Yeah, fire away, fire at will. I mean, literally at will. William, Bill, Billy, fire at all of them. And so, I mean, with Joe Biden, it's all possible. Sorry. There you go. Guys, take it.
No, I mean, look, you know, these days you watch, you know it's bad when you watch clips of Bill Maher and you're like, yo, he's making sense. Like, I haven't watched Bill Maher in quite some time. But even he's like, even he's like, yo, y'all going a little too far. So if you guys are losing Bill Maher, you're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
There is NATO, Russian.
Go ahead.
NATO, Russia, China started their own alliance. Oh, Russia and China started their own alliance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did they start their own alliance and give it a name?
No.
Not that I know of.
Not that I'm not familiar with it.
But I do know that Brazil, Russia, India, and China are all working
That's the
together.
BRIC.
Yeah.
That's the BRIC countries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That
pretty
might
sure
be
they're all
what he's talking about, the brick.
Oh, okay, yeah. He might be talking about the BRIC, but that's what it was.
And I'll tell you this. You guys want a little bit. I know some of my Bible people, they might be interested in this tidbit. Everybody else tune this part out. But there's a part in is it in Revelations? Not sure. I have to double check. But it's the part where it starts talking about the four carpenters. This is what me and some other I guess I'd say what theologians what they've been looking at and considering, that this might be the four carpenters that it's talking about. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, just look up four carpenters, and it starts talking about the four carpenters, which are going to go against the great whore. For those who don't know about the great whore, Mystery Babylon. For those who know about Mystery Babylon, you don't know much about the damn Bible, but that's a different story. E, you got anything you'd like to add on all this stuff? Russia, China, possibility of war with Ukraine, or any of this turned into a hot war?
I still solidly believe that if it does turn into a hot war, the economy will probably fall. I mean, that's a personal theory. I might be wrong, but you got student loan payments coming up in 90 days. You're already talking about making the transition easier, which is just another short way of saying we gonna take your money. Fuck you. We don't really care. They're gonna have to do something with those new recruitment numbers they're gonna get, because some people can't pay, and the military comes out with open arms and says, "Please come here. We can take away 50,000 of it, or we can take away 20,000 of it. We can lighten it for you." So we'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Elle, some of your thoughts on my little tangent I went on?
Oh, you know where I'm at on like China and that whole angle is like China is something that the US, regarding the WEF and all of the other think tanks and everything, want to emulate. And so they will partner with them to an extent to achieve that goal of digitization and everything, and the facial recognition software and all the stuff that they're doing, the social credit score system. I did find an article about the alliance with Russia and China. I couldn't find anything other than Reuters, unfortunately, but it is a thing.
It is what it is.
But it's not called anything, not necessarily. So I'll share that in the chat right now. Here you go. Enjoy. From Yahoo News, which got it from Reuters. But anyway, Russia, China, Taiwan, all this stuff just feels like a lot of bluster, not a lot of, action going on. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not holding my breath like Garcetti is during a picture with Magic Johnson. So we'll see.
And for
I'm
those
not
who
really expecting anything.
For those who miss what Elle's talking about, she's talking about how there is a mass mandate for indoor events here in California, and specifically in SoFi Stadium, there is a mass mandate. And if you look at it, darn near anybody was wearing their masks, or if they were, it wasn't for the whole time. Magic Johnson put out a whole bunch of pictures of Mayor Garcetti, Gavin Newsom, what's her name? Forgetting her name, London. You know what I'm talking about, right? Can't think of her name. Something London.
Breed London.
Breed London. Yeah. San Francisco's mayor, and all of them are without masks on in a place where you're supposed to be masked unless you're eating or drinking. And if you just look around the stadium, nobody's wearing masks hardly at all throughout the whole damn stadium. There's a picture of like Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's just hanging off one side. And I mean, none of these people are. So
Yeah, it's literally nobody else, but they're the ones that are, under fire.
it's kind of like they made a rule for everybody to follow, which they're not following and nobody's following, but they still insist on having the rule.
I put a link to the story in the chat, so there you go. And then also, I would believe, I get conspiracy minded or coincidence minded, and I see it as maybe this was done on purpose, because Magic ain't that stupid. I don't want to believe that he's that stupid. He could be that stupid, but
No, he put
I
him
don't
on blast
believe
on
that he
purpose.
is. I think he may have done it on purpose. I think they were going to plan to do the endemic plan, the strategy that Gavin's talking about now and Ferrer's talking about. But I think that's what was kind of like, oh, you know what? Now they've taken it off. Now other people will be okay taking it off. And we'll take some heat in the beginning, but then we'll get everybody on board. And that'll be like the end of the mask mandate. And again, more vaccine shit that we don't want to talk about. But, the children are getting, targeted, just like in my ad here, in my avatar. It's very similar, but I won't go into detail. But that's the next step is children. So we don't want to worry about adults and their masks that much anymore. We're just going to focus on this campaign that we have to sell this drug.
And I wanted to show you guys something to end us out before we get out of here. Let me see if I can pull this up. For those who don't, remember last week we were talking about our buddy, Mr. Wilson. And he says he is almost back. So I wanted to show you guys this video of Mr. Wilson. And for those who are not, don't know about Mr. Wilson, maybe you can learn about Mr. Wilson and have a little bit of fun. I was very happy to see this video the other day.
It was great. I loved the whole thing.
He is a very, very funny man and very good spirits.
I think he played down his experience in prison. I mean, I wasn't really buying the. I think I'll start it fast food.
There's a new video too that he did yesterday.
Yeah.
22
Well,
hours
it's one
ago.
he's live right now actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play. Crap, where'd they go?
Lot of fucking people. A lot of fucking people. I'm a dude who fucking. Hey, this needs appropriate music, right? You need fucking appropriate music for this, right? Oh, the king has risen.
Hunter donated $5. The
Thank
king
you so
has
much.
risen.
The best thing for your mental health was being arrested. Yep. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. They did not give me any food, alright? I had money. I smuggled in money, alright? And the cops were on my payroll. Oh my fucking god. I had fucking KFC, McDonald's, alright? The cops would take me to KFC and I would eat there. Had to hunt. Okay. All right. Calm down. Calm your fucking tits. All right. Okay. Boy, do I have fucking stories to tell. So when it is not a miracle yet, right? So right now, tomorrow we still have to get their statement, meet the judge and everything, but they are wanting to settle and stuff, right? They are wanting to settle and stuff because they have no case and shit, right? So now we're like, yeah, we'll just settle, slowly gather around. We'll talk to you guys. Right? Tomorrow at 9 a.m. I still have to go to court, right? But I am, they'll not detain me and put me in prison and shit, right? I'll tell you guys the whole story after all of this is done, right? Why I was in the prison for so fucking long, yeah. Did you have a private? Yep, there was a private bathroom. It wasn't very good, right? But yeah, like everybody used the same one, but it had like a fucking, door and shit. Plus, I had TV. It was called prison TV, right? So I would sit there, right? So the room was, I kind of made a painting of it as well. So what I did was, I did not drop the soap, right? Please touch your nose and moan.
Fusion Rippers donated $1. PLS touch your nose and moan.
Calm down, relax, right? It was
Marcus, I can do this. You can put me on TV.
So what I did was to pass time. Obviously you can't have a pencil or a pen there. So what I did was I used cigarette and matchsticks to make art, right?
But yeah, I wanted to show that. Let me stop that real quick. I wanted to just show, Mr. Wilson, he's back. He's in good spirits. Where was that? Chris, can you pull that up again? So Solgato says also, I've had a Google News notification for Shanghai Cooperation Organization for years, but forgot why I set it up originally. That's why, apparently. And I noticed, who was that? Mad Marxist who brought that out. Well, what does that say there? I think a couple of people might have put it in there. Mr. Street put that out also. But I figured, you know what? Every now and then, some of the other streamers, they do this for me. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to go to Mr. Wilson live and let him know the political matrix.
I was just there.
Yeah, I'm going to bring him up live.
Yay.
Man. He is singing now.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait. The appropriate song for this is actually this. Oh my God, the appropriate song for prison. All right, wait. Wait, shut the fuck up. Don't say anything. Don't go anywhere. All right, you need to listen to this. All right, wait. Why aren't you waiting? Wait. No, not this one. This one sucks ass. Not this one. This one. Yeah. I mean. I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling down the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I'm stuck in false. Maybe, what the fuck is this? I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling down the bend,
And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling down onto San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Sorry. I bet there's rich folks sitting in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. You know I can't be free. But those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Yo! Fucking Glory Jones is here as well. Joy to the world, the Lord has tits. Wait, what? Okay.
He's great.
Joy to the world, the Lord has tits. Wait. What am I saying? This is good. Okay, let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. All the this like a party up in here. Yeah, I knew you were going to sing Folsom Prison next. Oh, wait. Glory, yes, Glory, the only woman who's allowed to peg me.
Good night,
Right?
Street.
But no other woman in the world. Right? Yeah. Hey.
I was gonna say I could do all that. Y'all know if I just get a piano, y'all already know I got my accent down. I'll get some background dances and shit. We get the whole shit done. We can do all of that because I'm very good with it. Do you know what I'm talking about? We can do it all.
All right, so and I see we have Lucky in here. Hey, Lucky. Yeah, we wanted to show him a little bit of love, seeing that he's temporarily out. Hopefully he is able to get free. Safia Mandergal, thank you for dropping in. But this has been the Political Matrix. Your host here, Young Morpheus, Marcus Cage, good buddy Cy Lawson, Emmanuel the Blue Maverick, and L Latham, the Whisper in the Machine. So hopefully you guys all have a wonderful evening night. L, you have anything would you like to plug?
Plug podcast, superawkwardfuncast.podbean.com. Put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. Coming up, new episode, end of month. Shut up, computer. And hopefully we'll have a guest on. Don't know who yet. I'm taking offers. If anyone wants to be on my show, let me know. Basically. The computer is loud.
Ciao bella, bella notte. And tomorrow I will be on my other channel with Jalen. We'll be having a Talk of the Ages episodes. I know it's been a little bit of time since, but we will be talking about what is it, the Whoopi Goldberg thing, and some of my opinions on that. We got a couple other stories to go into. So
I have one more
make
plug.
sure you
Sorry,
check
I just
that.
forgot.
Yeah, make sure you guys check that out tomorrow. And I'll probably be posting it sometime, maybe tonight before I go to bed. That way, hopefully you guys can catch it. I know we've been away for a little bit, but the young fella, he has his college that he's trying to, knock out and stay on top of those things. And so I'd rather him make sure he get a good education, and we can always come back and do content whenever he's free. And with the different time zones, we're always working out the logistics. So, and look for Jalen's show to be in the in the future. He'll be doing his solo. Chris, I was gonna hit you up right now because I was meaning to do it before, but will you be interested in joining us tomorrow evening?
Yeah, what time?
Jalen said 9 Eastern. Is that okay? 9 Eastern.
Yeah. All right, I'll be with it.
All right, cool. So look for Chris over there to join us. L, go ahead.
I think we were all invited, but I'm doing Extra Bulla or Uncle Warren's show in a couple weeks. Yeah,
That's right.
So
we all will be there.
Yeah, we'll all be there. So check us out.
Yeah, that will be February 17th.
Correct.
At 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And if you're not Central, Western. And if you're in the Midwest, that will be 8 p.m. So yes, make sure to check out the Political Matrix. We'll be joining Uncle Warren over there. So that's it. You guys have a great evening and the rest of your weekend. Make sure to do some just have a good damn time. Fuck all this other crazy stuff that's going on in the world and just try to live your best life. And as Chris always says, take care of you and yours. So that's said from the Political Matrix. Thank you all for joining us. I'll probably drop over into Mr. Wilson.
Hi, Mr. Wilson.
Of course, man. We miss you, brother. We want to make sure that you're okay. And I'm coming over to your live stream after that, so I'll be in the chat.
All right, guys, have a good one. We appreciate everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.